In this particular problem here, we'll look at we'll look at doing arithmetic expressions on the metric system. Sometimes you may have to convert between units. Okay. So in this first one here, Ryland is 1.6 meters tall. His younger brother is 85 centimeters tall. How much taller is Ryland than his younger brother? They're asking for a difference here between the two. So difference implies subtraction. So we'll have 1.6 meters. And we have here, the other one is 85 centimeters minus 85 centimeters. So we have to convert. We have to convert uh, centimeters into meters. So when we do that, we can look at this little chart here before. So if we have 85 centimeters and we want to convert that into meters, so since he's here, how many jumps does it take to get to meters? So I have 85, two places, 1, 1, 2 jumps, 1, 2. So I shift it over, 1, 2 places. So I have 0.85 meters. So I'll have 0.85 meters. So now I can rewrite that to say 1.6 meters minus 0.85 meters. Now I can just subtract it because they're different units. In this case now my final answer is 0.75 meters. So after I converted it here from centimeters to meters, I can subtract it, now the same unit. This one here, they're multiplying. Dana's recipe for lentil soup calls for 150 milliliters of olive oil. Dana wants to triple the recipe. So it's going to take multiplication. Okay? So I'm going to have, for this next one, I'm going to have 3 times 150 milliliters. Okay? So when you multiply this out, you have 450. They asked the question, how many liters will she need? What is this? So I have to convert it again. So when I look at this, I have to convert going from milli, and I want to convert that into liters. From milli to liters, how many jumps is that going to take me? Go from milli to liters. 1, 2, 3. 3 jumps. So now I take the 450 here and shift it over 3 places in the same direction. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I replace the units. That's going to be 0.450 liters, or 0.45 liters. Now that's not the only way you can do it. You could also go ahead and multiply it out and do the conversion that way. Now we'll look at converting between the US and metric systems of measurement. Now here we have some approximations between uh, different conversions, metric and English conversions and US conversions. Okay, you do it the same way we did before. Multiply by the unit conversion fraction here. So this one here, for example, they have Lee's water bottle holds 500 milliliters of water. How many ounces is that? So we have 500 milliliters. We want to get rid of milliliters and replace it with ounces. Same way as before. So now when I multiply here, they have fluid ounces there. The relationship between ounces and milliliters, so we see one. There, 1 ounce is 30 milliliters. So 1 fluid ounce is 30 milliliters. So now when I multiply, milliliters cancel out and I'm left with 500 over 30. And the only unit that's left is in fluid ounces. Okay, so you divide that out, you have 16.7 fluid ounces. And that's your final answer there. And this one here, Solil lives in Minnesota but often travels to Canada for work. While driving on a Canadian highway, she passes a sign that says the next rest stop is 1,000 kilometers. How many miles until the next? How many miles to the next rest stop? So we want to convert kilometers into miles. So we have here 100 kilometers, and they want the answer in miles. Okay, so when we multiply this out, we have 1,000 kilometers, and we want kilometers to disappear. We're going to replace it with miles. Now I want to think about the relationship between miles and kilometers. Well, 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. Now I can multiply this out, and kilometers cancel out, and I'm left with 100 over 1.61 miles, which is going to be 62 miles. Now we look at converting between Fahrenheit and Celsius. So there isn't a direct relationship. They have a formula to they have formulas that they use that they can use to correlate between the different systems for certain temperatures, separate temperature ranges here. Okay, so this is the formulas that they're using between to convert from Celsius, your output is going to be Celsius or your output is going to be Fahrenheit. And your input for one is when you have your output is Celsius, your input is going to be in Fahrenheit. When your output is Fahrenheit, your input is going to be Celsius. So let's look at an example here. So in this particular problem, they want us to convert 50 degrees Fahrenheit into Celsius. So the very first thing we do is we write out the formula we're going to need. The second thing we do is we assign values to our variables. Delta F equal to 50. And then the third thing we do is we replace the variables that we're given with values. The fourth thing is we simplify the expression on one side. And so we see that C is equal to 10. It's all multiplication here, so I just moved it. The weather forecast for Paris predicts a high of 20 degrees Celsius. Convert, convert the temperature into degrees Fahrenheit. Here again, the first thing I do is I write out the formula I need. They want the answer in Fahrenheit, so I write out the formula for that. The second thing I do is I assign values to my variables. So I let C equal to 20. The third thing I do is I replace the variables with values. And then the fourth thing is I simplify the expression. Twenty divided by 5 is 4. So I have 36 plus 32, which is 68, which is my final answer here. Let's say 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is the end of that section, part 3.